This is my favourite place in the entire world to ride. And I've been lucky enough to ride in a lot of places. The Alps, the rolling hills of Tuscany, and even British Columbia in Canada. But nowhere has quite shaped me like the Peak District. I feel like I know every climb, every descent, and every line through these hills, but I've never ridden them quite like this before. Today, I'm taking on the Peak 200 fastest known time, with 220 kilometers and 5,000 meters of climbing on some of the most testing trails this place has to offer. The question is though, will I still love this place in hopefully 12-ish hours? Well, we'll find out. Absolutely beautiful. My legs are so gone. That could not have been tighter. Okay, let's get into it. 3, 2, 1, I gotta go. Okay, we're off. Nice easy start to get warmed up on. Some familiar trails and tracks, so looking forward to it. The Peak 200 isn't just a long ride. It links together the very best of the Peak District, Britain's first national park and a place famous for its rugged, natural mountain biking. It starts with some of the area's most iconic trails in the Hope Valley before building towards Cutgate, one of the toughest and most remote sections of the ride. Even after reaching the halfway point, there's still no let-up, with more technical trails and one final sting in the tail as the route climbs towards Stanage Edge before finishing back where I started. The current fastest known time sits at 12 hours and 50 minutes and is held by Ewan Adams, so if everything goes to plan, that's the time I'm aiming to beat. So let's not waste any time. No dabs on this today, I reckon. Way. The Peak 200 has been on my mind for a long time. It's one of those routes that's earned a little bit of a legendary status around these parts and further afield. Not because it's the biggest route in the country, but because of where it takes you. It might not be the longest, might not be the most elevation than some others, but it's not a lot of routes with the sort of technicality of this one. So this is actually my first attempt at what I'd call real endurance riding. I wouldn't say I'm experienced at all. I love a big ride, I love a big day out, but this was really going into the unknown for me. Right, reaching the top of the first climb now. I have to say, in terms of being 20 minutes into a ride from a major city, you don't get much better than this in my eyes. When I sort of started the job at GMBN and racing wasn't sort of my priority anymore, I wanted to broaden my horizons a bit, try something new, and where better to do that in the place that I love the most. And it was also just about bragging rights in a way. I'm so fond of the Peak District, sort of called it my home for years, that I wanted to be able to say, yeah, I've got the fastest time on the Peak 200 FKT. Snake's Pass, and then we cross over Snake's Pass. Beautiful. I could do my legs waking up a little bit because just feeling a bit flat. I know what's coming up now, and it is not pretty. It's super, super tough riding around here. It's very, very steep landscape. Very, very rocky, a lot of grit stone. While in the Alps, you can do 3,000 meters over a ride, and that'll be in 3 climbs. You can also expect to do that in the Peak District, because while you're only climbing for 200-300 meters, it is that steep and that tough, and also you're only ever going up or down, that you can easily tick off 3,000 meters in a ride.
Whoa! $20K in, 228 normalized power, 58 minutes, and currently average speed of 21.3, which is good going. I know I said the last climb up the beast was bad, but this one is equally as bad.
I sort of was going up Peakdale or Cavedale, I can't remember which one it's called, 2 hours in, and there's quite a long climb, it's really techie, rocks are quite loose, and my legs started to hurt a bit, and I was thinking, I'm 2 hours in and like 40K, like, and my legs are sore.
This is where she bites. Oh, it's the worst of it done.
What it was is basically didn't eat anything for the first 2 hours of the ride. And I was like, legs are sore already, but I backed 2 gels and had another bite to eat. And I was like so relieved because my legs just came straight back around. I was like, oh, thank God for that. Good view, innit? Experienced a high. I think I was under fueling a little bit. Couple gels and we're back on it like a car bloody bonnet. What a view!
Oh yeah, we've completed the Hope Valley Loop. Nice to tick that off. 57K done in 3 hours and 6 minutes. So we're doing all right. Crazy to think that's 100 miles or 160K to go. I was like, oh, look at this little bird just flying right next to me. Baby steps, I'll be my her safe hands. No one to come and land. The old bell ring, mid-wheelie bell ring. Trick I've been dialing for years.
Beauty Tash.
4.7K to Cutgate. In about 300 watts to log it. Trying to hold over 30K an hour. Bloody bike is flying.
I really wanted to showcase that this route was proper mountain biking. You know, it's not just a test of your fitness, but it's a test of being able to look after your bike, ride technical trails, and get over these horrible climbs. Now, one of the sort of sticking points in the route that I'd had in the back of my mind all day was Cutgate. My morale was like through the roof. I was singing to songs, buzzing off caffeine. Like, yeah, I'm on top of the world. I was like riding at 300 watts. I was like 80K in, just banging along at 300 watts. It's brilliant. And then got to Cutgate and I was like, oh, God.
There she is. Cutgate, baby.
Cutgate, I believe it goes up to 450 meters. Someone will correct me, but somewhere around there, you know, 400 to 500. And it's like one of the most well-known Peak District descents and climbs. And yeah, I was sort of dreading it in a way. Like for a lot of people, it's like prime Peak District, but I've done it a few times and I never really enjoy it that much. And yeah, it's super tough.
Oh, I know this would be breaking point. Whew. Go on, James. Bit of Armand van Helden will do the job.
I sort of got over the worst of it. We started to near the top, and that's like really thick, like grass like this, that sort of really zapping stuff. And it's like this weird like moon landscape, and it used to be called the Bog of Doom, but they've sort of managed to lay some hardpack over it now. But it's like so chunky that you never find any rhythms.
Oh, come on.
My legs were like zapped at this point, and I was really looking forward to just getting into the descent. I was trying to attack, so I was like, if there's anywhere I'm going to make up time, I have to go hard on the descents.
Oh God, my arms. Bloody hell. Way up, Bezla.
My arms were in like bits, like it's super rough and it's really quick down that side.
Oh yeah, just what the arms needed. Cut gate, completed it, mate.
I was like trying to like peel my like fingers off the grips at the bottom. I was like, oh God. And yeah, that was sort of the first point, like 80K in, where I was like, God, like that really, really took it out of me. I was surprised by how fatigued I felt after cut gate. It's like, I didn't really expect it to zap my legs as much as it did. It was a bit doubtful because my legs were really sore and I wasn't even halfway at this point.
We're 90K in, I just ticked over 5 hours. So by my maths, 180 would be 10 hours, which gives us 2 and a bit hours to do the last 40K, which might be doable, but that's if we stick with the current pace. But yeah, it's gonna be quick in a sec. I've got a long bit on an old railway, hoping I can hold sort of 25K an hour. Just had a couple gels, sort of feeling a bit refreshed, so yeah, tune's back on, bit morale.
I was really lucky actually. After Cutgate, you hop on the Trans-Pennine Trail, like a slightly 1%, 2% downhill of like old railway line. It really gave me like a chance just to refuel, rest a bit, but also like crack on and sort of gain a bit of time on my average speed because I'd lost so much time on Cutgate, I think.
Come on, I'm having a good time, can you tell? This is it. One-way ticket to Glossop, please, on the Orbea Oiz Express. 100K in, lads, let's go. 120 to go. Making good progress.
My longest ride in duration before today was probably around 8 hours, but yeah, this was due to be 5 hours longer than that. So a 5-hour ride in itself would be a flipping big ride. So to do an 8-hour ride and then think, go on, I'll crack on for another 5. I was sort of thinking, wow, I bit off a bit more than I can chew in. I remember I got like halfway through, I was thinking, me, I'm 100K in here. And this is a bloody massive ride on a mountain bike anyway. I've got another 120K to go.
We're halfway. Just ticked over 111 kilometers, starting to bite. Problem is, I just can't eat enough, like all the sweet stuff, gels, bars, sweets. Like 6 hours in, your body starts not wanting sweets anymore. I'm at that point, but this means my legs are running on empty a little bit.
There's a saying in the UK, don't bite off more than you can chew, but also people say, just take the bite and learn to chew. So that's sort of what I did, I guess. Now, an epic challenge deserves an epic bike, and I think I have just that. The new Orbea Oiz. Now, if you're a regular viewer of the channel, you would know that I spent a lot of time on the previous iteration of the Oiz, and I was a massive fan. It was a thoroughbred XC race machine. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but I even finished 12th place at BC Bike Race. Just had to get that in there. So when Orbea announced that they were bringing out a new Oiz with a completely different suspension platform, I was really excited. And I have to say, this bike is an absolute stunner. Just look at it. I'd only actually done a handful of rides on this before embarking on an FKT. And you might be thinking it's a little bit stupid for one of your first rides on a brand new bike to be a 12-hour epic day off-road, but I had so much confidence in the last bike that I was sure that this one was going to do the job. In terms of geometry, there's actually not a whole lot that's different on this bike compared to the last Oiz. If it isn't broke, don't fix it. So we've got a 472mm reach on a large, a 66.8 degree head angle, and a 76.6 degree seat tube angle. Where we do see the biggest changes though is in the suspension. Rather than make a few minor changes, Orbea decided to completely redesign the overall suspension. The idea being to make it still really efficient under pedaling, but much more active when the trail gets rough. To make the overall suspension platform feel better, Orbea have put a lot of focus into making the frame a lot stiffer. So they now claim that the new rear end is 22% stiffer and the overall bike 36% stiffer than the previous iteration of the Oiz, which I wouldn't have said was a particularly flexy bike. Now, I'm always a little bit skeptical of when brands put numbers or data to things, but I have to say this bike feels really precise through rough terrain, holds its line well, and actually when you get the power down, you really feel like that's transferring you forward. This whole suspension platform has taken a lot of work to make it feel right, and one example of this is actually the new aluminium plate under the linkage. This actually isn't the lightest way of doing things. In fact, it's a whole 100 grams heavier than the old linkage. But what this does is it reduces any flex around the suspension, making the overall platform feel a whole lot better. Now, a few other details to my bike. I've got my tried and trusted Reynolds 309 XC black label wheels with some Vittoria Mezcal XC race tyres in a 2.4. Now, some of you might notice that these are actually the exact same set of wheels I used for BC Bike Race, 7 days of racing and training before and after that event. And I've even still got the same blooming tyres on. Now, I've done a lot of lab testing on these wheels to check, and tyres to check what's the fastest tread pattern, and also just riding them outside. And I think for overall XC use, these tyres are my absolute go-to. They are bomb-proof and they can do just about anything. So moving on to my contact points. Now, you might have remembered in BC Bike Race, I said that I always stick with the SR All-Road from Ergon because it's tried and tested, I know I get on with it. And I actually took a bit of a risk going into this, still not quite sure why I did, but I've gone for the SR Men's Team saddle from Ergon. One of the only reasons I went for it is it's actually a carbon railed saddle, and I wanted to save a few grams. Now, I don't want to give too much away on how the FKT went, but we actually filmed this in the next day. Let's just say, throughout the whole challenge, 220 kilometers of riding, I didn't have a single saddle-related issue. No saddle sores, no sit bone pain, no numb piece, if you know what I mean. So I think I could sit here and reel off a load of things about the foam density, the ergonomics of it, but I think that's enough in itself. And it's same with the grips. I've got the foam grips from Ergon, and I had no real hand discomfort for 220 kilometers of riding. So I've been really, really pleased with both of these. Now I have to mention the MVP of yesterday, my Garmin Edge 1050 head unit. Now I had the GPX load on this, could navigate the whole way around, which was great. I also have gone for a touchscreen. Now, before I joined GMBN, I was actually really skeptical of touchscreens because I thought in the rain they just wouldn't work, but this seems to be fine. And when you're doing a lot of navigation, being able to sort of pinch in, pinch out on a map, move it around, see where you're going is really handy. I can also connect this to my power meter pedals and my heart rate monitor, which is great. See what sort of elevation I'm coming up. And the slightly bigger head units like this have loads and loads of battery life. There's no way you can do massive FKTs like this and long rides with lots of navigation without a good head unit. Now, as FKTs are self-supported, you have to carry around all your gubbins for the whole ride. So I actually use a Camelback Chase vest. In here I had my tubeless plugs because I had my mini pump and my tool attached to my frame. Now, this also has a 1.5 litre bladder, so it really helped my hydration through the ride, as well as the fact I can store extra snacks inside it as well. Wow, look at that. Sun's out. Scenery's beautiful. Lovely. Legs seem to be amazing for an hour, then rubbish for an hour. It's just a cycle of that. And as much as I keep telling myself I need to eat more, it's hard. So this bit I'm doing around Hayfield now is all completely new to me. I've never ridden out this way actually. I've done a few bits around here, but this is absolutely stunning. I've got Kinder Scout over there, and it's sort of, yeah, just really open and feels really remote. Fun tracks, legs are okay, but yeah, this is stunning around here and enjoying riding something new. Sort of as we got into the meat of the ride, sort of 120, 130K, I was feeling all right, and then I did this one climb out of New Mills, and so steep. And as much as it's beautiful around me, I was like, wow, this is really tough, and my legs were like pretty cooked. Flippin' heck, lads and lasses. Beautiful little valley, isn't it? Oh, I feel so lucky to be out here today. And one thing that was sort of getting to me a bit was I wanted to average like 17, 18 kilometers per hour. I could just see myself hemorrhaging time. You know, every time I looked down, I was like, I'm doing 14K an hour here. I'm doing 12 kilometers per hour. So that was like a really tough point mentally, because I was like, I'm just losing and losing time. Oh, this is slow progress, come on. Oh my God, boy, am I glad that climb's over. Whoa, felt like it's about 3 hours long. Good views.
it's like the hottest part of the day now. And yeah, legs are feeling it. I think I've done 3,100 meters of climbing, about 8,094 gels. How to rot your guts, 101. Just found a tap, so I thought, well, you know what, I was running out, fill up all my bottles, dunk my helmet, dunk my head, cool myself down. It's now been riding for 7 hours and 50 minutes and I've done 135k. So if my maths are right, to match the FKT, I need to do 85k in 5 hours. There's a fast bit of sort of old railway line again, so hopefully we can tick the K's off now. Come on. Like I'm on the home stretch now, but still got 80k. Definitely not got that zip in my legs obviously now, but surprised how good I feel actually after 8.5 hours. I couldn't recommend it enough for anyone to come up here. Part of me would like to gatekeep it, but it's beyond that now. But look at that view, wow. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Right, I need to crack on because I want to get this FKT, but yeah, what a flipping ride. Wow. These climbs are not for the faint-hearted. No big ring gravel climbs around here, that's for sure. I would say I used like head unit, my Garmin, my heart rate monitor, and my power meter pedals almost religiously throughout the ride. I sort of use heart rate a lot because I think heart rate's a good indicator of how much effort you put in. Like power is sort of an absolute figure, you know, 300 watts is 300 watts. So I couldn't really use that to tell if that was hard or not. And there were certain points where 300 watts felt really easy, and there's certain points where 300 watts felt really bloody hard. Yeah, I'm on the High Peak trail for a while now. I'm gonna have to get a shift on because I'm cutting it fine. Okay, gang, we've ticked 100 miles. It's got 60k to go. So you get that done in about three and a bit hours. Ooh, 100 miles, it's 161 kilometers, 9 hours 19. Lose my. The last 40 kilometers was when I realized it was going to be really, really tight. I'd sort of gone through the whole thing thinking, yeah, you're smashing it, yeah, you're smashing it, yeah, you're smashing it. And I think I had 40 kilometers to go and a little bit over 2 hours. So I was like, I need to average around 20 kilometers per hour here for the last 2 hours. It became a bit real then because I'd gone through the whole thing thinking I had it comfortably, and suddenly I was like, you haven't got this at all. Like, you could lose this. Wasn't the way I wanted it to happen, really. Like, you want to come into those last 2 hours and be able to start to enjoy it a bit, and
really gave me that motivation, which I needed to be like, you're not rode 10 hours, 180 kilometers to come second.
Oh, what a view! It's just too good. Name me a place better, I'll wait, I'll wait. Okay, we've just ticked over 200K. I've literally got an hour left to do 20K. It could not be any tighter. Come on, James. Oh, it's time to send it. "14 minutes until the other guy's time. I've done 218.7, but I know it's longer than that back to the finish.
The last few kilometers were absolutely killer. And I remember I had like 1K to go, it was a 1K climb, and my gun was ticking over like 12 hours 40, and the previous FKT was like 12 hours 50, and I was like, I've got 1K climb. Can I do it? Can I do it? I like started going and it's like 12 hours 42, and I'm like 800 meters to go. And I just didn't know. Like, I had no idea where I was doing it, and the time was ticking away much faster than the kilometers were ticking away. I remember like cresting the last bit of climb, bombing it down this descent. I came past the start finish and I like stopped my Garmin. You have to end it straight away because it's like your overall elapsed time. I laid on the floor, I was like, oh, I don't even know if I've got it. I remember just lying on the floor, like my head was throbbing with dehydration, like my heart was pounding my chest, like my legs were buckled.
Oh my God. That could not have been tighter.
That last kilometre was like, I'd say it was more like the mental torture of it than the physical, because I was suffering anyway, but like to know you might have done all that, 220 kilometres for nothing, was like, I was like, this is really getting to me.
I feel like I've just been on a night out with Steve Jones. Jeez. It's one of the hardest days out on a bike I've ever had, but also probably one of the best days There's literally minutes in it, I think. I don't even know yet. I have to wait till it uploads to Strava, but it could go either way. There's literally a few minutes to play for, so I couldn't have gone any harder if I tried at the end there. Wow. Thank you, dude.
Boosh.
Hey.
What a day out.
Yeah. 220 kilometers.
Tell you what, that was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. That's some of the most stunning riding I think you can get in England. And I'd probably argue there's other parts of the world. Well, yeah, I don't know, it's just the variety, the like ruggedness of it, but also just the natural beauty. Yeah, there's nothing quite like it. And we're literally 2 miles from what is, I think, the 3rd largest city in England. So that's why it's my favorite place to ride. It's a pretty special place, I think. Really, really beautiful.
So, how did you do in your FKT?
I can reveal that we did it. I finished in an elapsed time of 12 hours, 46 minutes and 37 seconds, which is roughly 3 minutes ahead of the previous fastest known time. 3 bloody minutes after 12 hours and 46 minutes of riding it. Isn't that crazy? Like, in my head I thought I'd beat it by 20 minutes, I'd lose by 20 minutes, but 3 minutes, like, oh, the stress of coming into that finish was insane. So my moving time was actually 12 hours, 23 minutes and 27 seconds. So over nearly a 13-hour ride, I had 23 minutes of stoppage time, which is bonkers to me. Normally I'd be at about 4 cafes, 5 different filling stations getting cans of Coke, but yeah, 23 minutes of stopping time. I'll reveal all the stats. So total ride was 221 kilometers and 220 meters in the end. Sorry, I'm a bit tired. So 1 kilometer longer than it said, which killed me a bit. 5,026 meters of elevation gain, 17.9 kilometers per hour average speed. I did 221 normalized power and 182 watts average power, and at an average heart rate of 143 beats per minute and a max heart rate of 176 beats per minute. So, some pretty big stats there. It was my longest ever ride by 20 kilometers, longest ever in duration by 5 hours, most ever elevation by 1,000 meters. So, I'm absolutely stoked. I may look a little bit like of a shell, big bags under my eyes, but I'm also very tired. But yeah, over the moon with that, especially in like, I've done challenges a bit like this before, and yeah, they mean a lot to win, but to win in like that in my own sort of backyard felt pretty cool. Like I knew sort of almost all the trails I was riding on, and yeah, it feels pretty special. I'm sure someone could come and beat it, but there's been quite a few people had a go, and I'm stoked, like really happy, glad to do a full ride like that and come away knowing I've done it. Massive thank you to the guys behind the camera, because not only is my day 13 hours long, their day's 13 hours long, plus a bit more as well. Alex, who drove videographer around all day. So these events are unsupported, but obviously we've got to film it, but they had no interference with sort of how I rode all day. I didn't stop with them for water or anything. They just sort of carted themselves about. So massive shout out to them. And yeah, I just want to say a big thank you for watching. If there's anything else like this that you think I should try in the future, let me know. What do you think of the Peak District? Are you as big a fan as I am? Where's your favorite area to ride? And yeah, let me know what my next challenge would be. I think I'll need a bit of a rest before the next one though. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.